Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Environment Matters. I'm Annette Hoskins. Cutting the ribbon on a new water treatment plant in Preston County, the centerpiece of a unique approach to treating acid mine drainage. Governor Jim Justice joined state and federal officials and partners from Southwestern Energy, WVU, and Friends of the Cheat to officially open the Muddy Creek Treatment Facility, which has been operating for about a year. The project uses a hybrid approach, treating parts of the watershed in stream and feeding other sources of acid mine drainage to the plant by pipeline. The results have been spectacular. Since coming online, the acid load coming from Muddy Creek into the Cheat River has been neutralized and aquatic life is returning to the watershed.
The ability for us to work together becomes really distant a lot of times. And what you've done here is you've just done just exactly the opposite. You've worked together, public and private, in a partnership, and you've done greatness. What you're doing here is bringing life back to West Virginia.
Treatment of acid mine pollution in the Cheat River watershed has been a long series of small steps stretching decades. The completion of the Muddy Creek Restoration Project is a giant leap. The DEP's Mike Huff takes a look back.
This is a mine seal blowout at the TNT coal mines in Preston County, West Virginia, along Route 26, about halfway between Brewston Mills and Albright, West Virginia. Thousands of gallons of untreated mine acid are pouring out of these portals and draining into Muddy Creek, a tributary of the Cheat River. About a mile downstream, Muddy Creek empties into the main fork of the Cheat.
In 1994 and again in 1995, water trapped underground inside the TNT mine in Preston County blew out the hillside above Muddy Creek, sending millions of gallons of untreated acid mine drainage into the stream and the Cheat River beyond. TNT declared bankruptcy in 1995, and the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection has been treating the discharge ever since. Now, a new state-of-the-art treatment plant, part of a more holistic watershed treatment approach, is the final piece in the decades-long process to bring Lower Muddy Creek back to life.
If you go back and you can look at some of the footage of the original TNT blowout, and the color of the water was pure tang. The only way I can explain it is tang orange. And to see the volume of water, the color of the water, and then the clarity also, it's a striking difference, particularly once you get down to the mouth of Muddy Creek, where we're seeing pHs now in the 7s. I would say that for someone who hasn't been here for 25 years, if they were coming here today and got to walk along the banks of Muddy Creek, they might not even recognize the stream. It's that different.
The lower 3.5 miles of Muddy Creek were in declining health even before the mine blowouts of the 90s, due to multiple sources of acid mine drainage coming from higher up in the watershed, here at Martin Creek and farther upstream from Ficky Run. Above the confluence with Martin Creek, Muddy Creek is a healthy stream with cool water temperatures and habitat suitable for trout year-round. Reconnecting Muddy Creek biologically with the Cheat River was going to be complicated. Mining in the watershed dates back to the late 1800s, with many mines abandoned prior to environmental regulations passed in 1977. Those sources, combined with other bond forfeiture sites in the watershed like the TNT mine, made treating each source individually impractical.
With the in-stream approach, what we're doing is we're eliminating the need for point source treatment, which means every single point along Muddy Creek, Ficky Run, and Martin Creek, we would have to treat each AMD source. To put all that infrastructure into place would take an incredible amount of time. Here, we're bringing all the bad actors in and treating in-stream where the stream is already dead, and then restoring, in this case, as much as 5 miles of stream for Muddy Creek. So we actually treat it much faster.
The result? The first watershed-based NPDES permit ever issued in the country. At the treatment plant, incoming water is mixed with a slurry of lime and polymers. That raises the pH to neutralize the acid and causes the metals, iron, aluminum, and manganese, to settle out in these two 80-foot diameter clarifiers. The resulting sludge settles to the bottom and is pumped back into the TNT mine or into a series of geotubes for later processing. The treated water is returned to Muddy Creek. The plant can fully treat up to 6 million gallons per day brought in from multiple acid mine drainage sources in the watershed. That's where Southwestern Energy comes in, by providing funding to build the pipelines that lead to the plant.
This is a watershed solution for Muddy Creek, which will significantly contribute to the health of not only Muddy Creek, but also the Cheat River downstream.
Southwestern Energy is also contributing to the operation and maintenance costs of the project over the next several years. It's part of the company's Freshwater Neutral initiative. For every gallon of fresh water it uses, the company will offset or replenish that gallon in the same operating region where it was used, through water quality improvement projects or treatment technologies like the Muddy Creek Restoration Project.
Environmental stewardship and being a solid contributor to the taking care of our environment is a core value of SWN. We are privileged to work in the communities where we operate across West Virginia, across Pennsylvania, and it's important to us to take care of the land, take care of the air, take care of the water. Water's a precious commodity, and projects where we can restore damage to a water environment that was caused by other people, but bring the ability for those streams to regrow life, regrow the opportunity for people to play and be around them, is a real value to me personally, and I've seen the results of that in this project.
One of the immediate things that is happening as far as the restoration from the plant here is Muddy Creek is adding alkalinity to the Cheat, which is helping maintain a pH that's allowing walleye to spawn. And through DNR's transponders, they have little tags on the fish. We know they're coming all the way up into the canyon and even up into Albright. So the importance of this facility is really, it's super critical to maintaining those healthy fish populations and encouraging more spawning up in this area. We can talk about pH, we can talk about metal concentrations, but for the public, you know, being able to go down to Albright and catch a walleye, that's restoration to them. That's the real value to the folks who live here.
The Muddy Creek treatment plant was designed completely in-house by DEP engineering staff, saving the state an estimated $1 million in development costs. By proving the effectiveness of this hybrid approach to treating acid mine drainage, it's hoped that the process can be adapted to other treatment projects in West Virginia and beyond. That's all for this week. For Environment Matters, I'm Annette Hoskins. Thanks for watching.